The goal of Scenic Nevada is to preserve, protect, and enhance the scenic character of Nevada. Scenic Nevada has selected 13 sites called Nevada's Last Chance Scenic Places. Each one of these sites has a specific threat. In other words, it may be billboard blight, it may be highway construction, it may be graffiti, it may be people stealing parts of the cemeteries, this type of thing. So, in other words, our challenge is to preserve these for future generations. So those of us in the future have the same option that we had to see these and enjoy them. As we stand here in beautiful Washoe Valley, an area that has become so blessed by the fact that we are rural, and the folks that have been involved in the process for the past 3 years trying to keep it that way, in behalf of not only the citizens of our great valley, but also of our county of Washoe, of Carson City and areas beyond, the folks who come to our valley and enjoy the great outdoor recreational possibilities that are here. We think we have the reasons well described in hundreds of hours of public hearings why Washoe Valley should remain rural.
Washoe Valley is a beautiful valley that has many geologic features. As you can see, the lake and the Scripps Wildlife Area cover the bottom of the valley floor pretty much. We have the western Sierras, Sierra Nevadas, beautiful forested vistas to look at, with Slide Mountain facing directly onto the valley at over 9,000 feet high. If we keep coming on around, we have the Virginia Range, which is sagebrush and bitterbrush hills, which are also very, very beautiful to any native Nevadan. There are several threats that face Washoe Valley. One of the main ones is high-density development, housing, which will cause a loss of open space, pasture land. Also, any development that gets close to the Scripps Wildlife Management Area will interrupt the balance with the wildlife in those areas. A second threat is highway expansion. We're currently going through an expansion of Highway 395 down through the valley, and unfortunately, wherever there's an interchange, people like to put commercial establishments, and we are trying to discourage that practice so that we can keep the rural character of the valley. Additional traffic also means noise pollution, light pollution, and possibly smog also in the valley. Additionally, if the freeway is ever expanded in the future to 3 lanes either way, it may require concrete sound walls to be put up. We are working with the Department of Transportation and hoping that instead of concrete sound walls like you find in Carson City that totally block the view, we can use natural berming, trees, and landscaping to give the same effect to protect the residents from the sound of all of the new traffic. And lastly, commercial expansion is a real threat in the valley. We have 2 areas in the valley. One is a smaller area in the east side, secondly a larger area on the west side, and some planners have proposed that that larger area on the west side be expanded up into the general rural area on the hillside above the current commercial area. We strongly oppose that. We don't feel that it's appropriate and that the kinds of uses that they have specified are appropriate for that particular area of Washoe Valley and would keep it in its rural character.
We have every reason to believe that the compromise that must be reached is that the Truckee Meadows service area not be allowed to come into this valley even on a limited basis, as is being suggested now by the Planning Commission, for the reason that once the door is open, it never fails that it expands from there, allowing more and more development on a higher and higher density. We have no problem with people developing their land. In fact, we support that, but only in a rural setting of a density of no more than 1 house per 5 acres. If we can continue that in the years to come, all the citizens of Washoe Valley and Washoe County will be blessed with the opportunity of continuing to use all of the fabulous recreational facilities that are available for bikers and hikers and equestrian and all the rest of it.
Residents of Washoe Valley are working on solutions to the threat of urban development. Limiting commercial and residential growth is critical to the integrity of the valley. We need permanent protection of public lands and open space. Approximately $50 million has been spent in the last 10 years in preservation efforts, and we want those efforts to continue. 11,000 acres of the Virginia Range have been acquired as public space, which now contributes to a total of 23,000 contiguous acres of open space on the Virginia Range. $38 million has been spent on the west side of the valley in Winters Ranch acquisitions. And we have other areas that have been preserved as Scripps Wildlife Preservation Area, Bowers Mansion, and Davis Creek Park. Washoe Valley is a scenic and recreational contribution to the entire area, and we'd like to see it remain that way.
When Scenic Nevada selected the 13 Nevada's Last Chance Scenic Places, we made a decision at that point in time that we needed to take the extra step. In other words, it's not enough just to identify these locations. We need to take them to the next step. This is part of the next step. This is where we're doing now, is videotaping each one of these 13 sites throughout the state. Now, in addition to this, these will be used for city councils, for county commissioners, for the state legislature, and other groups. In other words, we want to be able to help such places as any of these 13 so that they can go the next step into some sort of solution for their problem.